Hello everyone, and welcome to another video designed to support my course It's Never Too Late to Learn IT. In this video we're going to look at cut, copy and paste. This was always great fun when I was running classes, and it's amazing how many quite experienced computer users still look at me mystified and say they don't know the difference between cut and paste and copy and paste. So this is one of the videos that is accessible only to those of you that have purchased the course, and I hope in this one to demystify the difference between cut and paste and copy and paste. So before you cut or copy anything, you have to start by telling the computer what it is that you want to copy or cut. As a general rule, you do that in one of two ways. If it's a graphic that you want to cut or copy, we have one here, you just click on it to select it. But if it's text that you want to cut or copy, you have to do what we talked about in the video where I was showing you how to change the appearance of text that you've already typed. You have to highlight the bit of text that you want to cut or copy, otherwise the computer doesn't know what it is that you want to cut or copy. So what do they all do, and what is the difference between cut and paste and copy and paste? So cutting text or a graphic removes it from its original location. Copy, on the other hand, leaves your original graphic or text where it was and just takes a copy of it ready for you to place it somewhere else. And then paste puts that text or graphic into its new location. So the sequence to remember is, first of all, you need to tell the computer what it is that you want to cut or copy, and you do that by clicking on it to select it or highlighting it. Then once your text is highlighted or your graphic has been clicked on to select it, you then tell the computer whether you want to cut or copy. And they're up here, cut and copy, and I'll demonstrate them in a minute. So first tell the computer what it is you want to cut or copy. Then you tell the computer whether you want to cut or copy. And then finally you tell the computer where you want to paste what you've just cut or copied. Again, the computer needs to be told where you want to paste it, and you, generally speaking, you do that by finding the location where you want to paste your text or your graphic, clicking the left mouse button or tapping the screen in that location to put the typing cursor where you want the pasted text or graphic to appear, and then coming up here and clicking on paste. So I'm going to demonstrate this to you using the list that I have in the course book and that I suggest you work on to practice. So with this list, I've always said to my students, imagine that you want the list to be in the correct order that you'll find these items as you walk around your local supermarket. And generally speaking, you're going to find oranges and apples together in the fruit section, and the carrots usually with the rest of the vegetables. So I want oranges to come between apples and carrots. So I want to cut it, I want to remove it from where it is, so I want to cut it and then paste it between apples and carrots. So as I said, first of all we have to start by telling the computer what it is that we want to cut. So I'm going to, in this case I'm using a mouse, press my left mouse button, hold it down and drag it across oranges. If you're using a touch screen, just tap on the word oranges. So now that I've got oranges highlighted, I can come up here and I can tell the computer that I want to cut it. So I want to remove it from where it is, ready to paste it somewhere else. So I'm going to click on cut. So I've told the computer which bit of text I want to cut. I've told it what I want it to do, which is cut. And now I need to tell it where I want to paste it. So this is a use, if you're not very confident with using the mouse yet, and you're not using a touch screen, this is a use for the arrow keys on your keyboard. So you can use the up arrow to put the typing cursor before carrots, because I want to paste between apples and carrots. So I've got my typing cursor in the correct place. You can click there with your left mouse button, or you can just tap the screen there. And when your typing cursor is in the correct place, you click on paste. And now I have oranges between apples and carrots. So you can work your way through the list practicing cut and paste. And now I'm going to demonstrate to you copy and paste. So with copy and paste, you want to leave the original text or graphic where it is, take a copy and paste it somewhere else. So in this case, I'm going to show you by copying the word tinned. So we're going to imagine that as well as tinned beans, we also want tinned soup. So I don't want to cut tinned from where it is, because I still want tinned beans. I just want to copy it and paste it before soup. So I'm going to highlight the word tinned as we did before. I'm going to come up here, but this time I want to copy it. Then I'm going to come down here, and I'm using a mouse, so I'm going to click the left mouse button before the word soup. So that's removed the highlighting, which is always a safe thing to do, otherwise you can do horrible things to your text. And now the computer is ready. It now knows where I want to paste my word tinned, so I have my typing cursor before soup, so I can come up here and paste. Sometimes when you're cutting and pasting or copying and pasting, you can find that the spacing goes a bit strange. Don't worry about it, just put it right. So if, for example, you finish up with something like this, two words that have run together, don't worry about it. Don't worry about why it happened or how it happened. Just add some space. So just position your tap or click to put your typing cursor between, in this case, fruit and juice, and press the space bar on your computer to add the extra space that is missing. Sometimes you might find that two lines run themselves together, like this. Again, don't worry about it. I want peas on the line below juice. So you don't say to yourself, how do I move that down there? You say to yourself, how do I insert the space that I need to put peas on the next line? And in a previous video, when we were going through the basic keyboard keys, I told you that if you press the Enter key, that starts a new line. So in this case, we would press the Enter key to put peas down onto the new line. And the other strange thing that can sometimes happen is that you finish up with a double line spacing like that. And again, in a previous video, I've said to you, if you have space that you don't want, you have to delete it. So don't sit here thinking to yourself, how do I move tinned beans up? You're not moving anything. You have space that you don't want, so you have to delete it. So in this case, I'm just going to press the DEL, the delete key on the keyboard, and that will delete the space. So if when you're cutting and pasting or copying and pasting, you find extra space that you don't want, delete it. And if you find that there isn't enough space, either between words or between lines, just insert that space using either the space bar if you want space between words, or the Enter key if you want space between lines. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.